up, gang? Thanks for checking out the video. Before I go any further, just a reminder that we are on all the other socials. So at RACIN Motorsport on Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok. I'm in my 30s, so TikTok kind of it misses me a little bit. But I did start one up in an attempt to try and get some more eyes on the journey. And one of my videos kind of took off a little bit yesterday. It was what I thought was a very uninspired video. It was just a time lapse of me putting on my race gear for the first time, strapping into the car the night before we went out to practice for the first time. Currently sitting on like 24,000 views and 500 likes for some reason. I don't know, I guess the algorithm just threw it into a bunch of people suggested and kind of took off a little bit. So yeah, I'll be using TikTok a little more going forward, hoping that we get the same traction, but we'll see. But yeah, if you want to follow a little bit more instantaneously, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok are the way to do it, especially Instagram, very heavily on Instagram. YouTube, a lot of work goes into making these videos, so it's not very good for quick hits. If you want to follow a little bit more in depth and more behind the scenes stuff, Instagram, Facebook is the way to do it. So it's at RACIN Motorsport. Come and hang out with us over there too. So now, as you can tell from the title of this video, we're going racing. This was not in the plan. My plan, you know, if you watch some of the early sprint car content on this channel, my plan for the next 12 months was to run practices for the next year and then join the field next year so I could learn how to set up the car, maintain the car, drive the car, and then, you know, confidently join the field next year. But when 10, 15 people all tell you the same thing, go and race, you can't really ignore that. So, and it wasn't because, like, you know, my first drive was so damn good that I had to get in the field, but no, that's not the case. It's everybody's of the same opinion that joining a field will give me far more confidence and experience, and like, you just be better in the car with other cars on the track in race condition. Practice nights, you're on your own and you don't really have a huge reference point for whether or not you're going quickly or slowly. The track obviously doesn't go away and slicking off the same way as what a race like your night does. So there's infinite amounts more to be learned going out onto a track and racing as opposed to, you know, doing practices. So, and, you know, like I said, when 10, 15 people tell you the same thing, you can't ignore it. So here we are, we're going racing. So event details, it's this Friday night at the Perth Motorplex. It's for the Shannon's Fast Racing Series. Gates are probably at 4 or 5 o'clock, but racing starts at 6. I believe we'll be on first for track packing and hot laps. I don't have a run sheet yet, so I don't know when our races will be, but we have 2 8-lap heats and a 15-lap feature. We've got a pretty small field. I think they pulled in a couple of limiteds to fill it up. I think we'll have about 10 cars there if I've got my info right. So it should be a good night. Look, our expectations are low. I just want to finish, go in the right direction. That's it. That's my only expectations for this race. But I am kind of excited because I have someone coming on board, Cameron Lennox. He's the crew chief for the King Motorsports limited sprint car team. He reached out to me last week and has been incredibly communicative, and he has some changes that he wants to make to the car that will, he's of the impression will help it get around the track easier and quicker. So I'm looking forward to, you know, driving the car again with the changes being made. So they're not massive changes, but they're going to be enough to definitely make the car feel different than the first time I drove it, and possibly, you know, we can get around the track a little quicker. So yeah, so sorry, back to the event details real quick. As I mentioned, Perth Motorplex, 6 p.m. starts. There's a bunch of different, like, you know, classes and divisions on the night. There's also the drag racing on the other side if you want to go and check that out sometime. And also your entry, I think it's $25, and it also, like, that's your pit pass as well. So the Fast Fridays are a little bit cheaper. And they only do silver. There's no GA. So your $25 is a silver ticket that comes with your pit pass. So if you're going to be there, come and say hello. Like, come down the pits and say, hey. I'll probably look busy and stressed and this and that, but come down and say hey, because, like, don't ever let me feel like don't ever let me have you feel that you're in the way or interrupting or, you know, taking up time or whatever. Like, you know, I'll look stressed and busy, but if you want to say hey, I'll be stoked to have a chat with you. So if you are going to be there, drop a comment. Never asked for that before, but let us know if you're going to be there. yeah, gang, so super exciting, but also horrifically nerve-wracking as well. But there is a couple of things that we have going for us. So the car changes that I feel like are definitely going to help once I've adjusted to them. Because we're the new cars, we start at the back, so there's not as much pressure to keep the pace going into turn one. So we'll probably hang back off the field a little bit just to make sure that we're not getting into trouble, entering turn one on our first heat, and we'll kind of take it from there. The goal is just to finish. If I can get through all of our races going the right direction, I'll be extremely happy. So yeah, two smaller things. The sprint car's at home now, which is not ideal, but I'll get into that another time. And we also have our first sponsor, which is pretty cool. So the car's going to look a little cooler, a little better than what it currently does. It hasn't got like a new wrap or anything, but it does have a few little tweaks that are going to make it look a little more like a race car and how it should for when we go out on the track for the first time. So I'll announce some details on that when I've got. I have what they've contributed to the operation, which is amazing. I'm going to release like a little first sponsored video when I've got all of my PNGs and PDFs, so I can make a proper flyer and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, super exciting that we've latched onto our first sponsor, and things are looking pretty good. So, all right, again, well, now, I keep thinking of things, but I believe that the Friday series is still being broadcast by Play-Per-View. So if you're on the East Coast or watching internationally, then Play-Per-View is where you could potentially watch it live. I will confirm that they're covering it, because I'm actually not sure at this point, but I believe that they are. I'll be documenting the night as much as possible. I now have the GoPro mount for the chassis. I now have a GoPro. The one that we did for the fire-off video was a borrowed GoPro, so I've got one of my own now. And I'll have someone there with a camera. I've got like a HD camera with a big zoomy lens, so I'll be asking somebody to film my races as best they can. So I'll document the night as best as possible for a video to go up here. But if you did want to watch it live, Play-Per-View I believe is the way to go. I don't have a Play-Per-View subscription yet. I do plan on getting one to monitor Australian racing a little more closely going forward, but yeah, that's how you could potentially watch it. But either way, we will have a video up here pretty shortly. So yeah, game two more sleeps. Wait, it's Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, two more sleeps. So it's hugely nerve-wracking, but I'm also more excited by the day too. So hope some people come down. Hope to see you there if you're in WA. So that's it for now. Thanks for checking it out. Appreciate it. Till next time. Bye for now.